I'd like to talk today about being positive most of the time. It's a great way to live. We can't stay positive all the time, but being positive most of the time is considered one of the best ways to live. It, it influences our mind, our bodies, how we interact with the world. So, a couple of things as to why it's important. Number one, being positive and optimistic has mental health benefits. It reduces stress. Positive thinkers typically have lower cortisol levels, which is linked directly to stress, and less stress means better mood, mental clarity, and optimism helps you look at setbacks as only temporary things that are solvable rather than catastrophic events that we can't solve. It also prevents depression and anxiety, or at least it minimizes it, because when we focus on the good, it creates a buffer against all this negativity, spiraling stuff that we see all over the internet and the news. There are some physical advantages as well. Positive, optimistic people typically have stronger immune systems. I need to be more positive, but I haven't had a cold in at least 5 years. And research shows that optimistic people tend to have fewer illnesses and they recover faster. And it's because our immune system is more supercharged. Uh, Positivity also helps heart health because emotions that are light or positive typically means people are going to have lower blood pressure, which means a reduced risk of heart disease and cardiovascular situations. The other thing too is positive, optimistic people tend to live longer. I know that from a few World War II veterans. They have a great outlook on life and they live a long time. And being positive and optimistic also helps our relationships. It attracts other positive, like minded people who want to naturally gravitate to the same kind of sunny disposition. I mean, nobody likes a bummer out there, right? And positive people tend to communicate better. They tend to resolve conflicts calmer, and they typically have stronger bonds, and they have a better influence on other people because think about it. Optimism, it uplifts people, family, colleagues, friends. It has a great ripple effect. And when we're positive or optimistic, we tend to have better productivity, tend to have better success, and we're better at problem solving because when we're positive and happy, we tend to be more creative instead of being stuck in some kind of negative spiral that happens, right? So, the other thing about being more positive, it increases motivation because optimistic people are more likely to pursue goals, right? Because we think that we can achieve them, that it's not impossible. And it opens opportunities because most people that are confident, they're proactive, they're ready to seize any opportunities that may come, and they look at challenges as opportunities, to do things. The other thing with optimism is we tend to be more spiritual and emotionally fulfilled. And the reason why is we have a better inner peace. A positive mindset is not filled with regret, resentment, and worry. Those are all, energy zappers. Positive people tend to have gratitude and appreciation, and they focus on what's good, which encourages, contentment and having mindfulness, having joy in everyday life, because life just feels richer when we notice better things and we have small wins. But remember, being positive doesn't mean that we're ignoring problems or we're never going to have problems. It just means that we're approaching life with gratitude and a solution focused mindset. Even in tough times, real positivity allows us to calmly look at something in a better demeanor and say, hey, I know this is difficult, but I'm refusing to be consumed or defeated by it. I'm going to overcome this. And let me just put my mind together and let me make it happen, so to speak. This takes work. It's not just some magic pill. I know some people think alcohol or drugs do that, but those are just temporary things that lead to nowhere. Most positive, optimistic people have a good morning routine. They wake up grateful. They typically write, for a few minutes, things that they're grateful for. Like I'm grateful that I'm alive today. I'm not dying of cancer. I live in a good home. I have food on the table or in the refrigerator. And when we do that, when we start off with gratitude, that tends to start the day off better than, oh, geez, another day. It primes our brain to notice positive things throughout the day because we develop this habit like, hey, things are good and they're continuing to be good. And we can also give ourselves positive affirmations and like, hey, I'm going to have a good day today. I'm feeling optimistic. I'm feeling positive. I'm going to hit those goals that I set out to do. I'm capable of handling any challenges that today's going to bring today. Bring it on. And you tend to attract positive situations and growth by having that mindset. Affirmations also reinforce our confidence and optimism, like, hey, I can do this. I'm going to solve this. I'm going to get through this day. And when we visualize a good day, they typically happen, right? If we visualize a bad day, then they're not going to happen. So you can close your eyes and imagine things going well. You can visualize and picture yourself overcoming challenges calmly. And it first has to exist in our mind, in our brains for it to happen, kind of like golf. We have to see the shot first before it happens. When we visualize, we train our brain to expect and create the outcome that we want, typically one of positivity, of optimism, and success. So throughout the day, we're going to have setbacks to bring us into our old habits, but be mindful. When something crazy happens, pause, breathe, think about it for a second. Don't react right away. Sometimes pausing for a minute or two while you breathe and think about it kind of allows you to come up with a solution in a calm way. This helps negative thoughts stay at a minimum before they spiral out of control. Oh my God, the worst is happening. No. When we reframe challenges by pausing, breathing, and asking ourselves, hey, what can I learn from this? Or how can I make this situation better? Is it out of my control? Because if it is, then maybe I shouldn't react to it because it's not going to matter in 10 minutes or 10 days or 10 years. We should shift our focus from stress to growth and seeking small joys. Again, waking up, we're healthy, we have food on the table, et cetera, et cetera. Simple pleasures like sunlight, music, a nice word, a smile. If we focus on those things, we're going to find ourselves surrounded with more things like that. And we're going to be training our brain to see positivity instead of negativity. And we'll develop what's called habitual optimism. What a wonderful way to live. I don't always get this. I have to remind myself it's a work in progress, but I'm definitely doing better than I used to be doing better. And in the evening, we should really also, before we go to bed, think about what we were grateful, think about the things that went well that day. And if things didn't go well, how could we have handled it differently? If we don't have the solution, maybe we can sleep on it and come up with it the next day. But don't stress over it. And we should think about ourselves, people that are close to us, the world, how we want to see it, whether it's positive or negative. Don't watch the news because they're not going to give you some positivity, as the saying goes. That's why I really try not to watch too much of the news. So we have to reward ourselves if we handle the situation or had a tough day and that we did it the way we'd like to, calmly, and we decided, hey, well, I couldn't change the situation, but I certainly am changing how I'm handling it. Let go of the mental clutter that's out there, and definitely don't worry before you go to bed because then you won't go to sleep like I have many times myself. Take the stress and put it in a box and think about what went well in the day, how you're feeling, and be gracious that you have another day tomorrow, hopefully, to resolve whatever issues there are. So remind yourselves also to surround yourself with positive people, positivity, things like music, exercise, I think works great, reading good books, eating well, and limiting our exposure to social media and toxic news or toxic conversations. I mean, we don't always have to participate in it, right? And, just because someone gives you the gift of negativity, if you don't accept it, it's still their gift. You haven't accepted it. We all go through hard times and we pick each other up. But the simple fact is, most people either practice to be positive and optimistic or they practice to be a bummer. So think about that. And each day, remember, when you get up and before you go to sleep, think about these things and be gracious about what went well and humble on what didn't go well. And each day we'll be able to put some actions forward that build strength in our mind and will allow us to emotionally overcome things. So we can only live day by day, but it's also good I like to write a lot of things down where I plan my weeks and months and sometimes years. So for the first day, be aware of, how you typically handle stressful situations. Where's your mindset? Did you let it go crazy? Did you stay calm? Did you sit back? Did you take a breath? Did you get emotionally tied to it? And every time something annoys you, you have to ask, is this worth my energy? I mean, can I fix it? Is it out of my control? What can I learn from it? And if someone's freaking out, is it because of you? No, it's probably because of them. It has nothing to do with you. You just happen to be there. It took me a long time to realize this. And remember to write things down each day that went well and read them. You might find a couple weeks later, you see that and go, oh man, I remember that day. Things went pretty well that day. And as you do that, every day goes into another with the same mindset. Because we want to stay positive and optimistic because it'll help us remain calm. So we can teach our brain how to react better to situations. And gratitude writing just reminds us that things aren't as bad as we may think they are, right? And when we train our brain to look for the good instead of the negativity, we tend to be able to solve problems easier and sometimes quicker. So in the mornings and the evenings, write down or at least think about what you're grateful for. Thank God. I believe in God. Hey, thank you, God. I had a great day today and I'm looking forward to tomorrow. Remember, life is not so easy and simple. We're going to have setbacks. It's all a grind. No one has it easy that I know of. At least no one that is successful of any capacity. If you do nothing in life, maybe you'll have less of a chance to not be disappointed. But life is about overcoming grinding and goals that we want to achieve. And we have to appreciate the little things because a lot of the little things help build our self-esteem, which will help us build our optimism, which will help us remain positive because we'll have the mindset like, look, it doesn't matter what happens. I'm going to be able to overcome it. Maybe not at that moment, but in the near future. One thing that I had to remind myself is to have better positive self-talk. Stop talking about you like, oh, you're so stupid. I can't believe you did it. Forget that. That's going to do nothing. Negative talk, like I screwed this up. Man, I can't believe that does nothing. Change that to like, well, this is what happened. This is how I dealt with it. How can I make this better? And when it happens again, I want to deal with it this way. And look for the opportunity of how we could, overcome tough things because life is tough in personal relationships, in business. But as we train ourselves through optimism and positivity, we'll be able to handle challenges a lot calmer. And that's how we want to be. That's how I want to be. I want to improve every day. And those who want to focus on your old self, well, just tell them I'm sorry, but that person's not around anymore. I'm working on the new person. But talk to yourself. Give yourself positive reinforcement. Sometimes we're our own worst critics. And when we write things down and we analyze it, then we can maybe give ourselves different ways of how to improve it going forward. So anyway, I do hope that some of these things will help you. This is just a short, brief message of things that I was thinking about for myself, and I was speaking to some other friends about being more positive, being more optimistic, and how to solve problems as they come along. I know for me, I look back on many, I've probably failed more than most people that I know, and I'm not afraid of failing, but if I fail and don't learn, that's the part that scares me, if I don't try. And remember, what other people think of you is none of your business, none of my business. And most people that are successful are not going to criticize you. And most people that are on the path of enlightenment, bettering themselves, they don't have time to be critical or make fun of other people or make you feel small or shallow. And remember, when someone's giving you a hard time, it has nothing to do with you most of the time. I know for me, when I was not cool or being belligerent with someone or just not being nice to them, I was having a bad day or a bad moment. It had nothing to do with them. If we can remember that, we'll stop taking things so personally. And also remember this, the vast majority of people are not truly interested in working on themselves. They say they are, but they're not really. So how do we work on ourselves? Well, we have to control our thoughts, but we also have to do other things that help. We have to exercise and eat well. There's no way in the world you can be positive and optimistic if you eat like crap and you don't exercise, or you drink too much alcohol, or you partake in other drugs that are just temporary setbacks. They may feel good for a while, but I don't see really any great upside on it. So as we train our mind, we have to exercise our body too. Believe me, I'd love to eat chicken wings and pizza all the time, or cakes and candy and chocolate. But as I sit now, as I'm doing this message, I'm losing back the 12 to 14 pounds that I gained by not paying attention, by sipping a few cocktails or having some cakes or chocolates and stuff. I'm like, Denny, what'd you do? So now I'm back to square one where I'm fasting on it. So I'm fasting on negativity, I'm fasting on bad food, and I'm sticking to exercise more, eat whole natural foods, drink plenty of water, get more sleep, train your body and your mind so that your business does better and your life does better. Because it's a grind. Whoever thinks life is easy, they read the wrong book. It's a grind. I don't know too many successful people, and this is not just in business, in life, that have a negative disposition. Doesn't mean they don't have problems, but they've overcome it, and they typically take care of themselves. They typically eat well. They typically train their brain. I know when I'm at the gym first thing in the morning, I'm not always in the mood, but I'm never sad that I went. I'm like, well, I'm glad I went. And that's the whole point of it. One step at a time. There's no magic pill where starting tomorrow you're just going to be giddy and happy and laughing about everything. That's not reality. But I believe and know that every day that we take these small steps to remind ourselves of small wins and positive thinking, it all adds up into a habit where after a while it's unstoppable. Same with I can't wait to see how I look and feel in about another 30 days, because I just got back on my program about 4 days ago. I've done it before and I lost track. Well, being positive or optimistic, it's the same. If we don't keep track, we'll start letting negativity get the best of us, or we'll be bummed out, or we'll join the poor me parade. Same thing with diet and exercise. There's no magic pill. I know that they have those shots that you can not eat and starve yourself, but what happens when you stop taking the shots? I don't know. Anyway, I hope this finds you well. This was just something I was talking to with a few friends of mine, and I was doing some reading and research, and I reminded myself that, hey, Den, you lost track of where you were a month and a half or two ago. So get back on track. And if you're off track, cut yourself some slack. You can start right now, today. Hey, you know what? Denny's right. Let me go. Let me get back on track. Let me work on eating better, exercising, thinking better, and going after whatever the heck it is that I'm trying to go after. And hey, if you're retired, maybe your goal is to just be happier and have less stress in your life, which I'll tell you, if you just shut off the news and just work on yourself, in other words, work on the inside, the outside will take care of itself. Hope this message finds you well. You can always catch my podcast called The Denny Artachi Show. I'm on Apple, Amazon, Spotify, and I also have a channel as well. And I hope that this message helps some of you have a better day, better week, better month, better year, and a better life. Thanks.